Hey, everybody. This is Maxine Taylor with your April 2023 astrological forecast. It's going to be an interesting month, an interesting spring, in fact. Excuse me. We are pollinated here in Atlanta. Before I jump in, if you are interested in learning how to use regular, ordinary playing cards, gin rummy cards, astrologically, to get absolutely accurate yes/no answers, you're going to want to get a copy of my new book. It's in the cards. You do not have to know astrology to be able to do this technique. But if you are in astrology, it is just going to enhance your practice, and it's going to give you more. If you're a student of astrology, it'll give you a whole lot more confidence. Okay, let us talk now about April 2023. First of all, we are going to have a full moon on the 6th. And as you know, on the full moon, things come to a head. They don't necessarily explode, but they pop. So if you have been waiting for an opportunity on a particular project, this April 6th eclipse might be the time. Excuse me, not an eclipse. We have an eclipse on the 20th. Can you tell I'm already there? On April 6th, full moon in 16 degrees of Libra. Find 16 Libra in your birth chart. Of course, I'll be giving it to you in your solar chart in just a moment. But as I go through all 12 signs, but this, combining it with your birth chart, gives you a full picture. Then and the one I really wanted to talk about, what was the first clue? Oh, I started talking about it, is the new moon on April 20th, and it is a solar eclipse. It's interesting. It's right at the end of Aries and the beginning of Taurus, right on the cusp. It's in 29 degrees, 50 minutes of Aries, which I call 0 Taurus, as well as 29 Aries. Find that position in your birth chart, because when we have an eclipse, we feel the effects about a week before it occurs, at least a week, probably more like 2 or 3. And the effects last until the next pair of eclipses come along. So little preview, in May, we have another eclipse, and it is the second half of this twin, so to speak, the double eclipses. Just notice they occur most of the time in pairs. So we feel the effects at least a week ahead, and until the next pair comes along. But the effects are strongest 3 to 4 months after they occur. Now, I say effects. The planets do not make us do anything. They reflect where we are on our spiritual journey. And so when I say we feel the effects, you please put air quotes around those, all right? Feel the effects around those words. So let's talk about where the planets are. The sun, of course, is in out of my way, I'm doing it my way, Aries. And so happy birthday, Aries. On the 20th, the sun moves into Taurus, and the speed and impatience of Aries is replaced by the one step in front of the other, and we get the job done. And we stop for a little bite to eat, perhaps, and we stop to relax, perhaps, and we ultimately finish the project. Taurus. And so on the 20th, the sun goes from Aries to Taurus. Venus, the planet of love. Now, the sun is the center of our life. And so I will really emphasize that when I go through your chart in just a little bit. Venus is love and money and beauty. It is the lesser benefic. There's nothing lesser or less about Venus. It is wherever it is in your chart, that's the area that you're happy with. That's where you feel loving. It is in Taurus and has been in Taurus. On the 11th of the month, Venus, which rules Taurus, and so it's stronger in Taurus than Gemini, Venus moves into Gemini, and it's a totally different manifestation. Venus in Taurus says, I want to love everything. I want to enjoy my food. I want to enjoy my money. I want to enjoy all the pleasures of life. In Gemini, it's different. Gemini says, let's do it now. And let's have an ice cream cone, one in each hand. Let's double down on everything. And so there is a fun-loving quality and impatient quality that Gemini brings with it when Venus goes into Gemini. Okay, Mercury. Mercury is what we think about and talk about. It's very, very interesting. It has been in Aries for the last month, and it will stay in Aries until the 3rd, which is 2 days from today. Today is the 1st of April. And so Mercury in Aries thinks quickly. It thinks quickly. It talks quickly. It moves quickly. On the 3rd, it moves into Taurus. And our thinking becomes universally more practical, more logical, and more reality-based, okay? It's slower than, it moves slower in Taurus, Mercury does, than when it's in Aries. Now, on the 21st, Mercury goes retrograde. Prior to that, it will be in the shadow of the retrograde. And I know that some of you are so sensitive that you feel the shadow even before its official start. We have a shadow prior to the retrograde and after the retrograde. And it's during the shadow period that you can begin a new project, but boy, it is not easy because in the shadow of the retrograde, Mercury feels like it's retrograde. So it is officially retrograde on the 21st. And so we're not going to start any new projects for the rest of April. Now, Mercury will go direct next month in May, and we'll talk about it then again. Okay. Mars. Wherever Mars is, that's what we fight with and fight for. It is, Mars is passion. Mars is impatience. Mars, wherever it is, that is number one. Well, Mars is going to spend the entire month of April in sensitive, psychic, home-loving, nurturing Cancer. And so there can be, how I want to put this, discussions with family members over other family members, perhaps. There can be an impatience about home and family. Are you renovating? Are you buying? Are you selling? But the focus of your attention is going to be home and family and everything that provides emotional security. Quite lovely, really quite lovely. Now, there are three other planets I'm going to mention because some of you have asked about them. Very simply, Jupiter is going to be in Aries all month. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So the Aries qualities in you, as indicated in your birth chart, are revved and raring to go. They are expanded. And so when I see the sun in Aries, and Mercury tying up the loose ends in Aries till the third when it moves into Taurus. And of course, what that says is Aries wants what it wants when it wants it. With Jupiter in Aries, it's like a double whammy or a triple whammy. It's, I really want what I want. And there's nothing wrong with that because in Aries, you'll get it through your own efforts. Now, there are two other planets I want to talk about. The first one is Saturn. Saturn has moved into Pisces, and Saturn, which is reality and tradition, in dreamy Pisces. Very, very interesting. Saturn will be in Pisces 2.5 years. It can make the dream reality, or it can make real any obfuscation, anything, any lies, any make-believe that filters through our lives. I'm speaking of politics, anything dealing with dreams or make-believe. So the movies that are being made may be more realistic. Remember, this is 2.5 years. And so Saturn, which I interpret as responsibility, which I interpret as respond to your ability as a leader. As a leader, you can make your dream tangible. Okay. The second planet is very, very powerful. Some of you already know this. It's Pluto, dipping its toe into Aquarius. And I've talked about this before. Aquarius, of course, is electronics, electricity, artificial intelligence. It is all machines of any type, whether it's cars, planes, trains. We've had so many accidents involving trains, planes, and automobiles. I notice people driving like maniacs where I live, and I can't understand why they are doing that, except Jupiter is in Aries right now. This has been going on for a while, though, this speeding. But Jupiter in Aries says, get there now. It's warp speed time. And the United States is definitely changing its public image, and the presidency over the next several years, because Pluto is out with the old, in with the new. Find 0 degrees of Aquarius in your birth chart. This is where Pluto is entering Aquarius, and this is where wherever it is in your birth chart, that is where you will feel this. Now, Pluto backs up into Capricorn again a couple of times before it stays in Aquarius in 2024. So very, very interesting times that we're living in. I hope you'll join me at my my virtual full moon ceremony, which of course I will post on my YouTube channel, Maxine Taylor Astrologer. So I'm going to sit here and get your sun sign recorded. Thank you for your patience. I always try and get these forecasts out a day ahead, and life just interfered. Hey, it happens. So, till we meet again, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.